Visitor numbers decreased by 11% in just 1 month, 30% of Canadian tourists no longer visited, and room occupancy decreased by 15%, down to only 66.7%. And 386,000 service workers are struggling due to the unemployment spiral. That's right, just looking at these statistics, you can clearly see. Las Vegas is entering its gloomiest period in decades, or even is slowly dying. Once dubbed the City of Lights, where every night was an endless festival, it is now shrouded in emptiness. Fremont Street or the Las Vegas Boulevard Strip are no longer as crowded as they used to be. Many large hotels have had to close some rooms, and casinos, once symbols of prosperity, are now deserted because few people are putting down deposits for big dreams anymore. So, what caused the entertainment capital of the world to collapse so quickly? Have people grown tired of the dazzling lights and games of chance? Or did Vegas itself lose its soul in the commercialization race? In today's video, we'll delve into the 5 reasons why no one wants to go to Las Vegas anymore, and explore whether the allure that once captivated the world still has a chance to be rekindled. When you come to Las Vegas, you can admire almost every wonder of the world, from the Egyptian pyramids and the Venice Canal to even a miniature Eiffel Tower. But if you want to save a little, you should probably go see the real version in Paris, because Vegas is no longer the cheap paradise it once was. Honestly, the biggest reason Las Vegas is dying is because prices here have ballooned out of control. In the past, finding a cheap hotel room right on the Strip was easy, but now it's almost a myth. Before the pandemic, the average nightly room rate on the Strip was only about $120.96, but by 2025, that number had soared to $162.38, an increase of over 34% in just a few years. And it doesn't stop there. Many hotels in Vegas now also use a dynamic pricing model, meaning prices fluctuate depending on the time and demand, not just for rooms, but also for goods within the hotel. A visitor once recounted that she paid $10 for a Snickers bar and a bottle of Gatorade at a store in Caesar's Palace, but just a day later, the same items were priced at $14. Nothing has changed except for the algorithm. Not only that, but the resort fee also escalated accordingly. This fee was already controversial at $25 per day, making tourists feel like they were being openly pickpocketed. But now, take a look back and see. Many places on the Strip are even charging double that amount, making resort fees as high as $50 a day. So, what does the resort fee you have to pay in Las Vegas actually include? Typically, this includes high-speed Wi-Fi access, a gym, a mini fridge in the room, and if you're lucky, you'll receive 2 complimentary bottles of water. It sounds reasonable at first, but even if you don't use any of those services, the hotel will still charge you the full price. In other words, you're paying an extra $50 per night just to rent amenities you don't even need. And if you want to eat and drink in Vegas, be prepared. Restaurant prices in the city have increased by up to 50% in just 10 years. The $1.99 buffets, a symbol of the golden age, are now extinct. Today, a normal buffet can cost you nearly $100. In what was once known as America's cheap paradise, every meal is now a test of patience for tourists' wallets. The cause of this price surge began to emerge after the 2019 pandemic, when inflation in the United States reached its highest level in 40 years. Operating costs, taxes, logistics, and rent have all increased significantly. Faced with that pressure, hotel casino corporations didn't cut costs, but shifted the entire burden onto tourists, raising room rates, increasing resort fees, and increasing food prices. In other words, instead of seeking ways to save, Las Vegas has chosen to squeeze dry the guests, who once considered it a place for relaxation, entertainment, and escape from the pressures of life. But behind that strategy lies a deeper story. Vegas can't live forever on past glory. As the allure of old luxury symbols fades, corporations are forced to find ways to create a new generation of Vegas, bigger, brighter, and more expensive. Billions of dollars are pouring into mega projects like Fontainebleau $3.7 billion, Sphere $2.3 billion, and Resorts World $4.3 billion. And to compensate, they inflate service prices, add surcharges, and bundle all small expenses into the final bill. Today's Vegas is no longer a place for the masses. This city is transforming into a luxury model, targeting high-spending customers, those willing to pay a premium to buy into the illusion of a dream. But in the process, Vegas also gradually lost what once made it special, the feeling that anyone could live like a high roller, even if only for one night. When the dream of rest becomes a financial burden, will anyone want to dream anymore? And if Vegas was once a place where anyone could feel rich, what remains today, beside the bills, to remind us that that dream once existed? In Las Vegas, you're not just gambling in the casinos. Even your wallet is being played with every small, silent, and skillful hand. The City of Lights, built on the dream of freedom and openness, now makes visitors wary of their every spending action. Because in Vegas today, everything has a price. And sometimes you don't even know what you just paid for. Even the smallest experiences now come with a hidden cost, making many people feel like they're being nickel and dimed. Do you want to check in early because you arrived before the scheduled time? 60 to 70 USD? Do you want to open the refrigerator to get a can of Coke? 10 to 12 USD. Worse yet, if you just lightly touch the minibar, the sensors will automatically register a transaction and charge it directly to your bill. By the time you discover it, you have to stand in a long line at the front desk to explain that you haven't had anything to drink at all. Even things that were once considered free in the spirit of Vegas hospitality are now commodities. In the past, free parking was a given, almost the city's first welcome to tourists. But now, a parking spot on the Strip can also cost $25 to $35. If you visit several hotels in a day, that number multiplies quickly. Each small amount may seem insignificant, but added together, it creates a feeling of subtle exploitation. A kind of harm that doesn't come from a single major shock, but from hundreds of small cuts. A tourist once said on CBS News, "You can't take your wallet out here without getting charged for something." That statement accurately reflects what's happening. This is not just a consequence of inflation or rising costs, but a deliberate strategy. Hotel corporations call it cost fragmentation, a psychological trick that makes guests believe the initial price is cheap, and then, little by little, they are charged extra at subsequent stages. The feeling of cheap only exists on the billboard, while in reality, a series of surcharges await you behind the front desk. Vegas once thrived on the illusion of generosity. Cheap buffets, affordable rooms, complimentary show tickets, and even a few free cocktails at the bar. Everything makes you feel welcome, appreciated, and allowed to dream a little. But when all those little experiences are separated and valued by numbers, that feeling of being welcomed disappears. People no longer come to Vegas to enjoy themselves, but to calculate. And when hospitality is also given a price tag, Vegas is no longer a paradise for relaxation, but has become a giant shopping mall disguised as fun. When kindness becomes a commodity, is there any place left that deserves to be called hospitality? Or are we living in an era where hospitality is also run like a corporation, with a price list for both smiles and neon lights? And when money replaces the welcome, what will happen to the very people who once brought magic to Vegas? Las Vegas was once built on people, not machines. That city lives on smiles, friendly greetings, and the small memories that servers always keep of their old customers. The type of cocktail they like, the room number they choose, or the last time they were here. But now Vegas is no longer run by humans, but by cold kiosks, soulless mobile apps, and efficient processes that are devoid of any human touch. In the old days, stepping into a hotel in Vegas was like entering a world of care. The dealer smiled when you won a hand. The bellhop quickly pulled the luggage, chatting as he walked. The front desk is where random conversations begin, not out of obligation, but because they genuinely care. Today, those scenes only appear in old commercials. Instead, the hotel lobby is now replaced by a long line of self-check-in kiosks. Everyone is glued to their phones, interacting with the screens instead of with each other. What was once a human experience is now a payment process. According to the Nevada Department of Labor 2025, over 22,000 hotel and casino employees have been laid off since COVID-19. Approximately 70% of the major resorts on the Strip have transitioned to automation, from front desk and room service to bar staff. Hotel corporations claim this is a way to optimize costs and ensure efficiency, but the real price is something that can't be measured in money: the disappearance of human connection. For many middle-aged visitors who have been coming to Vegas since the 1980s, what brings them back isn't just the neon lights or slot machines, but the feeling of being welcomed, the feeling that they belong here. Now no one calls them by name anymore. No more welcome back greetings. Only the sound of the automated system remained. Please confirm your reservation. Vegas has become quiet in a way no one wanted. The silence of people being replaced. The brightly lit kiosks in the hotel lobby now seem like soulless gatekeepers of a world once created by enthusiasm. Where laughter once echoed, now only background music, and the click of keys remain. Vegas is losing what makes it different from every other city. The human touch, the gentle touch of emotion, of memory, of kindness. And when efficiency replaced empathy, this city lost its soul. Undeniably, technology helps Vegas survive in the new era. But perhaps, to truly survive, that city must learn to reconnect with the people who once made its magic. Some organizations are working to do this, such as the Rebuild Hospitality Fund, a fund that supports retraining service workers who have lost their jobs, helping them find new opportunities within the very industry they have dedicated their lives to. Because Vegas can't survive on machines alone, it needs people, it needs smiles, it needs memories. A city known as the City of Joy cannot live without the breath of human life. Vegas chose the path of convenience, but lost kindness. And when people disappear, so does joy. A city without people, can it still be called a city? If Vegas was once where people found joy, then now, who will go find the soul of Vegas again? Las Vegas is still selling happiness. It's just that happiness now comes with a ticket price. The city of lights, of fleeting dreams and midnight smiles, has now transformed into a dazzling stage that not everyone can afford to step onto. According to Ticketmaster, 2025, ticket prices for a couple attending a show at the Sphere range from $250 to over $400, not including travel, food, and accommodation costs. During Super Bowl 2024, CNBC reported that hotel room prices in Vegas tripled, with some reaching $2,000 per night. And that wasn't even the peak. Formula One, international star residency shows, and a host of VIP exclusive events have propelled Vegas into an era of high-end entertainment, where fun is reserved for those who can afford it. There was a time when Vegas was everyone's destination. Workers, young couples, and middle-class families alike can visit, try their luck, watch shows, eat buffet, and leave with a smile. It was a dream of democratic joy, where everyone could feel special, even if only for one night. But as multi-million-dollar events flooded the city, the middle-class customer, the soul of Vegas, disappeared. Instead, there are luxury seating, VIP areas, and check-in zones exclusively for member level. Vegas used to welcome the world. Now it's only open for a small part of it. From afar, the city still shines as brightly as before. The lights, the music, the giant billboards. But if you look closely, you'll see something else. Amidst the crowds jostling for photos, there are quite a few faces just standing and watching, not participating. Those who used to come here dozens of times now only stop outside, take a few pictures with the sphere, and leave. The light from the shimmering LED screens reflected on their tired faces. A beautiful but contradictory image. Vegas was still bright, just not for everyone anymore. This phenomenon isn't just happening in Vegas, it's a reflection of the entire United States. From music festivals and baseball games to Broadway theaters, joy is slowly becoming a luxury commodity. When every moment of leisure is commodified, fun is no longer an emotional state, but a product. And while corporations promote that they are elevating the experience, the truth is that the majority of people feel left out. Vegas, a city once synonymous with freedom and opportunity, has now become a symbol of social stratification through ticket prices. However, amidst that glamour, a glimmer of hope still shines. Some local artists and small communities are trying to restore the public soul of Vegas, with street shows, small performances off the strip, or free exhibitions for local residents. Organizations like the Vegas Arts Revival Project are helping independent artists and performers get back on stage, so the city isn't just a stage for the wealthy, but a creative space for everyone. Because if Vegas was once built on a shared dream, it can only find its lost soul through that same collective effort. The joy of Vegas isn't dead, but it's been put on hold. And when joy becomes a privilege, all that's left is an illusion, brilliant but empty. When joy is only for the rich, can a city of freedom still be free? Is Vegas becoming a mirror reflecting America? Dazzling on the outside, but empty on the inside. Because in the end, Vegas's greatest loss isn't the lights. It's the thrill that brought people here in the first place. Gambling. The real gambling in Las Vegas today no longer takes place on the casino floor, but in the belief that this place still holds magic. A man in his 60s sat in front of a slot machine, the lights flashing incessantly, the music playing steadily, but his face was completely expressionless. No more suspense, no more joyful anticipation of three identical symbols, only the repetitive pressing of the button, like a soulless reflex. Las Vegas once sold the sweet illusion that anyone can win. People come here not just to try their luck, but to feel they have a chance. However small, it's still fair. But according to the Nevada Gaming Commission 2025, the minimum bet at many blackjack and roulette tables has increased from $5 to $25, $50, making a game that was once for everyone now a game for the few. Meanwhile, the new multi-credit slot machines allow players to bet on dozens of paylines simultaneously, meaning that in just 9 minutes a person could lose 100 USD without even realizing it. Everything happened too fast, too smoothly, and too coldly to still be called a game. In the past, real dealers, handshakes, or the cheers when someone won big would light up the whole table, all of which created what people call the soul of Vegas. Now, most gaming tables have been replaced by robot dealers or touch screens, but what makes Vegas lose its vitality isn't people losing money. Vegas was never built on winning. It's built on a sense of fairness, that with just a bit of luck, you can still change your life. And when that belief disappears, Vegas loses its most important thing: faith in opportunity. A gamble where the player knows they will lose is no longer a gamble. It's a simulation of frustration, wrapped in light and sound. Essentially, this isn't just the story of Las Vegas. It's the story of America, where fairness was once a source of pride, but is now gradually being replaced by algorithms, markets, and profit calculations. From politics, healthcare, and education to entertainment, everything is turning into a house always wins model, where the system always wins and players are just variables. Vegas is simply the clearest reflection of that. A city built on faith, but collapsing due to a loss of faith. Nevertheless, amidst the whirlwind of machinery and commercialization, there are still a few small glimmers of hope. Some small casinos around Fremont Street are restarting the classic tables model. Traditional betting tables with real dealers, low stakes, and a friendly atmosphere, like in the 1970s. This isn't just a business strategy, but an effort to reclaim the lost soul of Vegas, the soul of connection, of true gaming. Rebuild Hospitality Fund, a community organization in Nevada, is also supporting job retraining for former dealers, bartenders, and tour guides, hoping to restore the spirit of Vegas for the people. Ultimately, what brought Vegas down wasn't the lights going out, but a cold heart. This city didn't collapse because people lost money. It collapsed because people no longer believed they could win. If the dream of fairness once defined America, what happens when it's programmed to fail? Is Las Vegas just the final chapter of a larger story, where the entire country is betting its own faith? And if you've ever witnessed that change, please share it in the comments section. Because your memories, they might just be the last thing keeping Vegas alive. Las Vegas was once the most beautiful metaphor for America, a place where with just a coin and a glimmer of hope, anyone could touch the dream. But now, that dream has been replaced by algorithms, by probabilities programmed so that no one wins, by fake smiles on LED screens instead of real human eyes. Vegas didn't collapse because people lost money. It collapsed because trust was depleted. The belief that luck is real, that fairness exists, that joy can be shared and not ticketed. Amidst the neon lights and the never-ending music, Vegas is becoming a symbol of something bigger, the loss of America's soul. Once a symbol of freedom and opportunity, it is now just a virtual stage where every emotion has a price and every dream has a predetermined outcome. People still come here, still play, still laugh, but they are empty smiles, as if they are trying to believe in a miracle they know no longer exists. If fairness was once the shared dream of an entire nation, what happens when that dream is replaced by lines of code? And if Las Vegas is just a dazzling mirage of a nation that once believed in the good, what is America truly betting on? If you've ever witnessed that change, please share your story below. Because sometimes it's memory, not light, that's the last thing keeping Vegas alive. Please like, share, and subscribe, not just to spread this story, but to help us preserve a little bit of the memory of an America that once knew how to believe and how to dream. This video was not created to criticize or assign blame to any individual, organization, or government. It was made in the spirit of a social documentary, where the image of Las Vegas is merely a metaphor for what is happening at the heart of America, the changing of beliefs, values, and human aspirations in an era where everything sacred is being materialized. All data, quotes, and facts in the video are compiled from public sources, independent reports, and official data, selected with the aim of provoking reflection, not to direct viewers' perceptions or manipulate their emotions. Every detail is symbolically and metaphorically recreated, with the intention of sparking a deeper sense of observation about how we are living, consuming, and losing the very things that once defined our human identity. The video doesn't offer absolute conclusions, but rather raises questions about the meaning of happiness, the value of fairness, and the place of human beings in an increasingly automated and commercialized system. As Las Vegas, the city of dreams, gradually becomes soulless, what's more terrifying isn't its collapse, but the possibility that we won't recognize ourselves living in a similar version of the very same place.